Okay, so let's clear some of this out of the way. We are going to take a look at a clone Smock. And this is it. So, what do we have here? You may or may not have seen the video on the Smock that I recently got. And so what I try to do is when I get a good knife, I try to find the clone to go with it. So I can do a review on the knife and, kind of give you the pointers on it and whether I think it's a good clone to be able to, and this is more, this is actually branded. So I guess it's more than a clone, but still I call them all clones. Anyway, so give you a review on the knife, and then I do the comparison between the actual and the clone, and that way it'll give us an idea of how to spot the clone. And I have to say, this looks like one of the closest. To be honest with you, when I opened it up and looked at it real quick and I saw this, because I never see this right here copied. This is a clone. This right here is a clone knife. I think I paid $41 for it. So I think it's a decent knife, to be honest with you. But it's still a clone. It's not a $200 plus Smock. But it would fool you for sure. This is the first time that I've seen this documentation with one of these clones. And so I'm really looking forward to doing the comparison to be able to hopefully keep you from paying $200 and something for this $41 clone. Let's take a look at it. On the outside, this thing looks genuine. I have to say that I believe that is actual G10. I seriously believe that is G10. I really think it is. Knowing Spydercos and the little details about Spydercos that I do, I can spot some of the issues right off the bat that tell me that for sure this is a clone. But if I did not know those, I would not be able to tell you. This thing right here feels great. It feels amazing. Now, that is not just the drop down that you might would think. I'm pretty sure this is on bearings. It's supposed to be on bearings. I am looking forward to tearing this thing down. Not in this video. We're not going to waste that much time. But we're going to basically go over the knife. The knife is pretty well made. The scales match the liner quite well. It's perfectly matched to the liners. It's almost like, let's see, what steel does this? CPM S30V. Not hardly, I don't think. Not for $41. Taichung, Taiwan. So it's almost like, because the Smock is made in Taiwan. That's where that Spyderco knife is made. And so it's almost like they, kind of snuck over there and took some of them out of the Taiwan factory. And now they're selling them for $41 because they got them for free or something. I don't know. But this right here has a very nice contour to it. It fits your hand. It feels great. That is not a finger choil, and I would not use it for a finger choil, but it almost feels like you could. You got jimping on the back of the blade here. It's a very thick, solid blade. Comes down to a drop point. And usually, I'm not saying this is a self-defense knife, but I have come to find out with the Yojimbos and the Yojimbo that this type of point is good for penetration. and is a good point for self-defense because it improves the cutting, especially when paired with a hollow grind like this knife is. So this would be, in my opinion, a knife that would be a good setup to use for self-defense. Now, this particular one, I mean, is it good or not? That's what we're going to say here. The clip is a medium for all intents and purposes, without actually pulling out the actual Spyderco Smock. This looks exactly like it. I mean, hardly any differences. Let's see. Let me take one of these screws out, because notoriously with clones that you get in there and only the hole tapped that the pocket clip is in is tapped. And the rest of them, which this is only a left or right carry setup, but the rest of them are not tapped. And so we're going to check and see if the other side is threaded. Come on. It literally is. So they actually threaded both sides. So you can change this one right here from left to right carry. On every other clone that I have gotten, and I've got a lot of them, but on every other clone, the only holes that are tapped for the pocket clip is the one it comes installed in. This one right here is literally the best clone that I have seen in quite some time. I really don't see any differences. I'm really looking forward to doing the comparison because because I have the actual one and I've seen the actual one, and I know a little bit now about spotting clones. I can see a couple of little things, but the point, let's get back to reviewing this thing. The point of this is not a finger choil. What it is, it's a cutout to make room for the button, because this is a button actuated lock. It is the same style as a compression lock. It's only got a button that operates the compression lever inside of it. The finger jimping on the back is not super aggressive at all. It does have like some I'm not going to say sharp corners, but there is a little bit of catch in there. So it is not just, it's not refined or finished on that edge right there where the jimping is. And that is the only jimping that is on the knife. Holding it in my hand, I really can't feel the pocket clip. I mean, if I try to catch it up in here, then I can push that pocket clip into my hand. But just grabbing the knife and holding it, the pocket clip ends up like in this area in my palm, and it's not aggressive. That little duck bill is folded over somewhat, and so I think that keeps it from being any kind of aggressiveness of the potential blade. And I don't feel an aggressive burr. I do feel some. Well, see, that's what's confusing. So what I'm doing is the little bit of burr that's on there, I'm actually rolling it back and forth. So it's like I feel it, and after I roll my thumb on it, it moves it over, and it's like it's gone. So I'm just going to say there's basically no burr on there. First time you cut a piece of paper, you'll probably tear the burr off of it. It's that thin. It is a very sharp blade. It is not, or actually it is, hair cutting or hair shaving sharp. Had to add to my mat. I had a dye disaster dyeing the scales on the Jumbo. So it's got a small lanyard hole. It's got an open. It doesn't have a back strap in. It's an open design. It is skeletonized in the liner and in the scales. Again, like I said, these look like G10 scales. I am seriously. This thing is amazing in how it looks. I do not see. I have not seen these things look this good. Wow. I mean, it's just if I was to go out and look and see this at a yard sale, somebody wanted $100 for it, I'd be tempted to buy it because just looking at this thing the way it is, I really can't see much differences between it and an actual one. And in fact, if I had never had an actual one, I would be tempted to go ahead and pay that because I would think that this was a real one. The only reason why I know this is not real, and I'm telling you, I'm sitting here looking at it in real time, and the only reason I know this isn't real is because I paid $41 for it. That's how I know it's not real. It can't be. I can't see myself being able to pay that for this and it be a real one. Now, on the actual Spydercos, they do have a little bit of a catch. And that feels like this is in there. It feels like there is more than the single detent. So on the real Spydercos, you have a detent for the blade, and then you have a secondary detent. It's just another ball that's underneath. I think it's on the offside scale. It's a little spring and a ball in there that just rests against the blade as a secondary detent. And all its purpose is to keep that blade from just slamming shut. And it does exactly like the real one did. It'll hold in place. You barely bump it and it moves. So I'm almost wondering if this right here will not be a 100% duplicate of the actual Spyderco Smock. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, it works good. It feels just like the Smock. The Smock I've already opened 10,000 times, and I've already did a video on tearing it down. And this right here feels just like it. The hole is very small, and it would, I believe, fool you in thinking that you're not going to be able to catch it. But the edge on this hole is pretty sharp. It's not too sharp, but it is pretty sharp. You get your thumb down and touch it, and you're in that hole. You're definitely in it. I mean, it grabs your thumb. It does. And so you don't have a reason to not get it open. I mean, in my finger, all I can catch is like that. I'm basically putting my finger against the hole. I'm not getting in it or catching in it. I'm just putting my finger against the hole. And there's enough of a ridge, sharpness on the edge, that it catches my finger and it just flies open every single time. Excuse me, that was me. Every single time. And there's no jimping on top, just the same as the actual Smock. It's actually easier to open by the side like that or the top like that versus catching the top up here. It's not hard, and it's not, you don't have to have jimping to get it to open up. It's just it requires more pressure, let's put it that way, to open the blade that way. So I'm telling you, this knife right here, it would fool me. This knife would absolutely fool me. Now it says it's CPM S30V. I would imagine that it is most likely a 440 stainless of some sort, in which I don't think a 440 stainless is a bad steel. I think it's fine. I think most of the cheap knives from China are 440 or AUS 8 are the equivalent. So I don't think there's anything wrong with those knife steels at all. I believe that it will not hold a edge as long as well or perform as well as the actual steel that a smock is made out of. But the rest of the knife, I'm telling you, there's no difference. There's no difference in the look of the blade. There's no difference in the function of the blade, the feel of the blade, the movement, the opening. The only thing is I can feel it's almost like a grittiness. With the actual smock, this was butter. I mean, you could not feel anything. It's almost like a set of dry roller bearings. That's what it feels like, is a set of dry roller bearings in there. And with the actual smock, there was no feeling of that at all. It was just a smooth surface. It opened and closed smooth, but it had resistance because of that extra detent. And I believe this has just got an extra detent in it. And I don't know how that was implemented inside of here, but I do believe it does have the extra detent. So when you see this knife again, it's going to be in a side-by-side 100% comparison breakdown how to spot a fake smock with the actual that I have. And we're going to try to get that out pretty quick. This one I have to come out first, and then I'll get the how to spot a fake. And I think these are so close between this fake and the real one, which is a glaringly obvious difference right off the bat. A couple, like 3, 4 that I can see that I know are different. But we need to do the comparison for you to see the difference. And so I think these are so close between the two, I'm going to have to actually mic the blades and get measurements on one and the other to actually see the big differences between the two. I do believe I am going to do the 10,000 open on this one, just like I did with the actual smock, because I think it would be very interesting to see if the internals on this end up like the internals on the smock. So anyway, that is what I have for you. And I appreciate you guys. I do very much. I look forward to seeing you again. And just thank you. I will see you on the next one. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.